Audio check 1, 2, 3. Here we are then everyone, we are live at Barcelona here tonight for round 4 of the GT3 Sprint League here on ACC on the PlayStation 5. We've got 30 drivers out on track here tonight for this one. Obviously we're missing a few drivers here tonight, down to the fact that, well, I think a few of them couldn't make it. I think there's reasons, but yeah, I saw that 6 people said they couldn't race here tonight, which is a shame, regular drivers as well. But nonetheless, it should be an interesting night. 13 drivers, you know, there's enough to see a good race. I'm sure we should be seeing some good action here tonight. And yeah, currently we've got Tynus in the house starting up pole position once again here tonight. So he's a man who we know is no stranger to pole positions. He's taken 5 out of the 6 victories so far this season. Obviously tonight his race is 7 and 8 of the season. So can he take his 7th, or rather his 6th win of the season here in his 7th race, as we're coming through the final couple of corners here. Max Power half a second off of Tynus' fastest time in the qualifying session just gone, but that only a one-shot qualifying session, so we could still be seeing Max Power giving Tynus a bit of something to worry about here. I reckon this race is still going to be pretty much wide open here between these two. If Max Power can get a good start off the line, he will definitely serve himself up with a good opportunity here. But up towards the line we come here for the start of race 7 of the season, and it's green, green, green. We are racing now, and it looks as though Tynus has got a good getaway. Max Power though, trying to use a bit of side draft here, has got a bit of a run here to the outside. Is he going to look around him? I think Tynus should have the inside covered off coming into turn 1, and Tynus in the house is going to lead us through as Max Power gets a tap there from G-Sanks. G-Sanks goes absolutely steaming into turn 1, and Max Power has been pushed round and it's down to the back of the pack. So G-Sanks there, a very, very reckless manoeuvre in the background. Somebody's gone off, Robe's got involved, looks like Kev Sims onto the grass. So absolute carnage there coming through the first few corners. It's Tynus leading right now, but wow, we saw G-Sanks there going very late on the brakes into turn 1, but did he turn? Did he brake at a normal point? Was Max Power early on the brakes? What happened there? I'm not quite sure. As in the background, Kev Sim here has got Day going looking down his inside. Fierce Mars there getting pushed out by Day, and Day up into P6 there. So good move from Day 666. You can see behind them you got Lexi May ahead of Robe, followed by the Daisy Camel, who's made a move actually ahead of Capriga, has he? Or maybe not. I don't know. Capriga, no, he's actually ahead of him now. So Capriga's got ahead of the Lazy Camel, and so has Robe as well. So those guys moving ahead of the Lazy Camel. As we can see, Max Power at the back, and Snoopy's also had an incident here. Obviously we saw him on the grass going through turn 3, and he's currently running in 13th place right now. So it's definitely been a bit of a shaky start here for the Lazy Camel, Snoopy, and for Max Power, it goes without saying. But Tynus, G-Sanks there in P1 and 2. They're a couple of seconds clear of LOL 3000 and Kangi, who are battling out over the final podium position right now. Robe is managed to get out of Fierce Mars, and that's because Fierce Mars has lost it there coming through turn 10. Turn 10 and 11, that little left-right kink. It's easy to bin it on the curb there. That's probably what's happened, I would imagine. But Fierce Mars is going to now drop to near enough the foot of the pack here. So lots of drivers here binning it on the opening lap at Barcelona tonight. But currently Kangi here trying to put some pressure here on LOL 3000. You got Kevsim not too far off the back of these guys as well. Roby now in 7th place is now trying to chase down Day for P6 in this race, and you can see Max Power's putting some pressure here on Capriga in this fight for 8th place at the moment. Snoopy on the back of Lexime here in his fight for 11th as well. But Tynus in the house has got just over 2 seconds of a gap over G-Sanks right now, and Tynus definitely looking in cruise control right now. And obviously he's won 5 out of the 6 races so far this season. If he can win this race, it'll be 6 from 7 so far for the season. As we can see, Kangi here looking around the outside of LOL 3000. Can he get this move completed? He goes a bit wide there onto the curb, but he does get the move done there, does Kangi. So Kangi moves himself through up into third place. Excellent move there from Kangi. Low 3000 still sat on the back. You can see there Kevsim trying to join in this battle as well as they're going through turn 8 right now. But good move there from Kangi, and he's running in third place at the moment. As we look further back, you can see Max Power is currently got ahead of Capriga, so he's actually made the move there as Max Power. Obviously he hadn't passed him at the previous sector point, but he's without question ahead of him right now, so that's a position gain there for Max Power. But you can see Kangi's trying to gap low 3000 and Kevsim. He's trying to consolidate his position in that final podium spot. Currently Kevsim here continuing to keep low 3000 very much on his toes here as they come into the chicane section here. Oh, as Lowell just gets all over the curb there, really walloped that sausage curb. In the background you can also see that the Robe is putting more pressure on Day, as we see a bit of a wiggle there from Kevsim coming out of the final corner. Over the line we come here to start lap 3 of the race, and just maybe pushing the limits a little bit much, possibly struggling with a bit of grip loss here behind Lowell 3000, but whatever the case, it looked like he was just on the limit a little bit too much there. As Day is looking down the inside of Robe. Robe's trying to make the move actually on Day, but Day's managed to hold firm for the time being. Max Power's now right on the back of these guys as well here, so you see with these two fighting each other, and obviously Robe potentially getting a bit held up, it's allowing Max Power now to have a bit of a run, as Max Power's now looking to the inside, in towards turn 4 we go, and Max Power's going to make the move. Very, very routine stuff there from him up into 7th place. Robe saw that one coming and didn't fight it too hard in the end, and Max Power can now focus on Day, who is just in front of him here. So yeah, nicely done there from Max Power. In the meantime, Tynus has a 3-second gap right now over G-Sank, a further 4.5 seconds back to Kangi, who's 8 seconds off of the lead. Dol 3000 still holding ahead of Kevsim at the moment, but plenty of battles going on everywhere you look at this point. Max Power still hassling the back of Robe as they're coming through turn 8. Down the little back straight they come. Max Power was a bit all over the curb there as he came into this part of the track, as Robe's now looking down the inside of Max Power into turn 9, but he's nowhere near close enough, and he's going to have to think better of that one, because that's never going to work in a month of Sundays. As Max Power now looking to the inside of Robe and squeezes through the gap, sorry, not Robe, even Day, sorry, and Max Power then making a move on Day and up into P6, so Max Power then making 2 position gains in the space of basically 2 corners, so very, very strong racecraft there from Max Power. As Day they're going deep into the second part of the chicane, and here goes Robe here looking to the inside, but Day manages to keep it around the outside for the time being. Max Power now is already hunting down the back of Kevsim here, running in P5, so Max Power is not hanging around after that incident coming through turn 1 on lap 1, got hit in the back by G-Sanks. He's not wasting any time here behind this traffic, but G-Sanks obviously got away scot-free with that one, still running in P2, and I'm sure that the stewards will be looking at that one after the race, because it did look like a little bit of a suspect move, I've got to say. Definitely not what we want to be seeing, that's for sure. As Fierce Mars is putting up onto the back of Leximate here. I don't know what happened to Leximate, but he's dropped down the order a bit. But he's still ahead of Fierce Mars just at the moment. Max Power's now all over the back of Kevsim here as we come down towards the turn 6 and 7 sort of S section here, and he's just looking for a good exit here as Max Power. He's going to be silly to go for a move into turn 8, because you kind of set yourself up here. If you make a move there, then you're going to be out dragged down the straight, but he's going to be surely looking into turn 9. He's very close here as Max Power, as Kevsim goes to defend him, and he actually lets him through there, does Kevsim, so thinks better of holding Max Power up, says go on mate, after you, crack on and I'll try and stick with you. But Kevsim there, very sensible driving, you've got to say, picking his battles very wisely, and Max Power moves through up into 5th place, so it's been some very seamless progress so far in this first race of the night here from Max Power after that collision with G-Sanks at turn 1 lap 1, which dropped Max Power to the foot of the pack, and obviously G-Sanks is able to carry on like nothing happened. But there is Max Power now, who's now pulling up onto the back of Lowell 3000 already here, so he's already knocking on the door of a P4 here in this race. Back to this battle here between Day and Caprigia, as Roby's running just ahead of these guys here, but they're coming down towards the end of the start-finish straight. You can see Lowell 3000 still weathering this pressure here from Max Power with Kevsim just behind. battles everywhere right now. Leximate still just ahead of Fierce Mars as they're coming through turns 1 and 2. But Lowell 3000 a little bit wide there coming out of turn 4. Down towards 5 we go. Max Power's trying to get a cut back here. Can he get it? Oh, Lowell 3000 very out of shape there. Max Power's going to be looking to the inside coming down towards turn 6, but can't get alongside him, and Lowell 3000 defends, or rather holds on for the time being. Now looking to the inside into turn 8, but Lowell 3000 again a bit wide, which is giving Max Power a bit of a sniff here as he's now looking to the outside, coming down towards the end of the back straight. You can see Lowell 3000 here defending the inside line. Can Max Power go for a cutback? Is he going to try and go around the outside? Lowell 3000 again a bit deep there, and Max Power is surely going to execute a cutback here. He did not need a second invitation there, Max Power, and he's now up into 4th place, and Lowell 3000 could do absolutely nothing about it. And Max Power now only 4 seconds off of a podium place, with Kangi there running in 3rd. So what can he do here? Can he get himself onto the podium here in this first race of the night, having been at the back of the pack at the end of the first lap? It's been a really strong drive from this man here, as we see Lowell 3000 there letting Kevsim go past him. So a bit of a strange situation there, not quite sure why he did that, but nonetheless Kevsim there moving himself into some clean air here. See the day almost wiggling around a little bit there coming through turn 3. But Capriga is still piling this pressure on the back of him right now as they're coming down towards turn 4. But it's still just a little bit too far away just at the moment. Lowell 3000 currently just ahead of Robe, but Robe's looking to the inside into turn 5. But just can't really put him off at the moment. Lowell 3000 holding his ground, goes a bit wide there. Lowell 3000, I noticed this, whenever he's under pressure, seems to understeer through the corners, really struggles to get it turned in, runs wide a lot. I think he's trying to brake late to avoid being out-braked by the driver behind him, but he's missing the corners, he's missing the apexes, and that's costing him on the exits, and it's causing him to get cut back every time. As we see Robe there looking to the inside towards the end of the back straight, but just a little bit too far away at the moment then, and Lowell 3000 continuing to hold on for P6 in this race at the moment. But I reckon once we get to the start finish straight that Robe should probably breeze past. Looking to the battle here between Day and Capriga, you can see that Capriga's actually quite ahead of Day here, so he's up into 8th place, and Capriga's letting Day back through, so I don't know what's going on there. Maybe a bit of a strange situation, yeah, because didn't appear to be any particular reason for it, but Day nonetheless back up into 8th place here. There's Snoopy in the background running in P10, and Robe and Lowell 3000 here separated by 4/10, but Robe has made the move, so he must have made that move coming into the chicane in the final sector there. So now Robe is in P6 here in this race, and that will obviously be great news there for him. Twinis in the meantime leads the race by just under 8 seconds over G Sank. So you've got Kangi there running in 3rd place. Max Power is now hunting down Kangi for that final podium place. The gap's under 4 seconds between Kangi and Max Power. There's Robe, who's got Lowell 3000 obviously behind him now, having made that move through the final chicane on the previous lap. Jazzman there in the comments saying Tynus in the house looking good. He definitely is, Jazzman. He's over 8 seconds clear at the front here. He's having an absolute field day out there, as he has been all season in this GT3 Sprint League here on a Wednesday night. He's been pretty much dominating the season. He's taken 5 out of 6 wins before tonight, or in this particular race it'd be 6 from 7 for the season if he can continue what he's doing right now, which is looking very likely here. Robo's gapped Lowell 3000 by nearly 2 seconds, or over 2 seconds since he got ahead of him, and he's bringing the gap down to Kev Sim, so this could be a battle for P5. This could be one to watch. Max Power's not really gaining a huge amount on Kangi at this point, so I think Kangi, as it stands, would be okay, but Max Power is chipping away bit by bit, but not enough to really be putting Kangi under it. Any significant pressure as Quick Rigger there wide coming through turn 6, and that's given Snoopy P9 here, so Snoopy there moving through, didn't need a second invitation. Obviously Capriglia wide onto the track, off the track, couldn't really do anything anyway, and that's given Capriglia the opportunity to pull up onto the back here. Oh, sorry, I've given Snoopy the opportunity to put up onto the back of Day here in this fight for P8. Robo's got the gap down to 1.5 seconds here to Kev Sim, so he's continuing to close that gap, and he's now within striking distance almost. He can taste that 5th place here in his first race here tonight at Barcelona. Here's Robbie then pulling up onto the back of Kev Sim. You can see these two coming out of turn 8. Robbie very wide there, hitting the bollard there as he came out onto the back straight, which is going to have cost him a little bit of time and maybe some damage on the front of the car as well, which might halt his charge a little bit here as he's wide there coming out of turn 9. Snoopy coming on the back of Day as they're coming through turn 9. You can see their Day wide, and where has he ended up there? Day is, wow, he's another postcode there as they went through that section. That's given Snoopy 8th place here, so he obviously manages to seize on that brilliantly, and Capriglia now is pulling up onto the back of Day here as well, so Day's got to watch out. He doesn't want to lose 2 places in the space of a lap here, but Capriglia looking racy on the back of him, but that gives Snoopy some clear track out the front of him right now. Robe still not really close enough to Kev Sim to be able to make a move here in this battle for P5. Capriglia now very close on back of Day here coming over the line. Is he going to be thinking about a move into turn 1 maybe? I think he's just still a little bit too far away just at the moment. But he's keeping him very much on his toes right now. Jazzman saying you need to get back from a holiday and crash him off in reference to Tynus, but obviously he's joking, as we all know. Capriglia there making a move on, well, Day could take his Day led him past there going into turn 4, so a bit strange there. Oh, Capriglia there goes deep, and Day's going to look back to the outside. He's on the curb there as Capriglia all over the place, and he lets Day back through, so it's a bit of a after you sir kind of situation between these two. And Day back up into 9th place in this race, so very strange between those two. But Kev Sim still ahead of Robe in the battle for P5. So they're coming through into the final sector of this lap, which they currently are. Oh, I'm so tired. Oh. But Day's gapped Capriglia by just over 1 second here. You can see here Robo's very, very close here now on Kevson as they're coming over the line. Here we go. Surely this is going to be an opportunity here for the McLaren to make the move on the BMW. You can see he's looking down the inside. Is he going to go late on the brakes here? I think he is. Robo's shut this done, but Kevson's not making it easy for him here at all. Kevson keeping himself there, almost side by side coming into turn 3, but Robo gets the move done there up into P5. And it's been a long time coming, that one. He's been on the back of him for a considerable number of laps, and Robo there gets himself into 5th place here in this race. Nice move there in the end. Good little battle there. Side by side action between those two. Day just over a second clear of Caprigia now, after Caprigia led him through about this time a lap ago. They had a bit of a no after you kind of situation there on the previous lap, but currently Kevson now behind Robe. What can he do? Can he keep him on his toes and keep him under pressure here? Be interesting to see. Because Kessim's definitely not giving up in this battle with Robo. You can see it. He's still sticking to him. He's still, keeping him occupied. But I think Robo is now just starting to up the tempo a little bit, starting to pull away. Seems to have more grip in the slower corners here. Much more grip in the slower corners than Kessim does. McLaren just seems a little bit more planted around this circuit than the BMW. But coming out on the last corner, you can see there, gap nearly a second there between those two already. In fact, it might even be over a second. It is just over a second there now. It creeps over between Robe and Kevson. And Caprigia's got back ahead of David. He goes wide. He goes onto the sausage curb there. Gets a bit wide onto the marbles, and that's going to give Dave P8 once again. So these two can't stop swapping positions. And Fierce Mars here on the background is now on the back of Caprigia here. Pulls out the slipstream. Fierce Mars is surely going to make a move here for P9 in this race. And there we go. Fierce Mars moved himself through up into 9th place. Easy pickings there for him. Caprigia still right on the back of Fierce Mars here as they're coming through in towards turn 6. But Day's managed to pull out by about a second here to these guys battling behind him. In the meantime, Robo's got just over a second and a half of a gap here right now over Kevson as they're coming into the final sector here on lap 13. Or actually lap 12 for them, sorry. Fierce Mars still just ahead of Caprigia right now as they're coming through into the final sector. Obviously Fierce Mars was able to capitalise on Caprigia's little mistake coming through this section on the previous lap. Can Caprigia try and turn the tables here and get past Fierce Mars in the part where he got ahead of him? This looks like he's in the slipstream, but probably just a little bit too far back, I reckon, to make a move into turn 1. We'll definitely get some closing speed and we'll be able to put him under pressure though. But just a little bit too far back as they come down towards turn 1. Throwing a little feint to the inside, but it's not gonna put him under any sort of real pressure at that particular moment in time. You can see Robe's pulling out the gap to Kev Sim. He's nearly 2 seconds ahead of him right now. Kangi's keeping the gap to Max Power at nearly 5 seconds, so Kangi actually putting away a little bit in the last couple of laps, so he's looking to consolidate that 3rd spot here in this first race. Fierce Mars with Caprigia all over him here as they come into turn 5. But Fierce Mars at the moment just seems to have the answer. Fierce Mars just having a little look to the inside there into turn 9, just trying to put Day off a little bit. Sorry, sorry, Capriga, sorry. Looking to the inside of Fierce Mars even into turn 9, but at the moment he just can't really seem to force Fierce Mars into a mistake. Fierce Mars just seems quite calm and relaxed behind the wheel. Just doesn't really seem to be getting overcome by the moment or anything like that. He's just driving his race. He goes a bit wide there coming out of the chicane, but gets a decent enough exit here coming out of the final corner. Capriga a little bit closer this time than he was on the previous lap. Is that going to serve him any dividends here as we come down towards turn 1? I think he will just be a little bit too far away as we come into turn 1. And Fierce Mars once again defending, but it doesn't really need to. He's got the position covered by quite some way there into turn 1 that time around. Tyner's still leading the race by quite some way, over 10 seconds is his gap right now over G Sanks. And it's been a splendid performance here tonight from Tyner in the house. Has been absolutely dominating it from start to the current point. And he's looking set to take his 6th victory from 7 races so far this season, and what a job that has been and is being, and currently he is doing. Capriga still right on the back of Fierce Mars here coming out of turn 8. But just seems to be a little bit too far back here to really make a move at the end of the back straight. Fierce Mars has got solid enough straight line speed that he can stay ahead of him quite comfortably actually. Capriga looking closer to the back of Fierce Mars than he's been in the last few laps, but just still a little bit too far away here into turn 1. But Fierce Mars with some significant damage here on the front of the car, which is definitely going to be costing him performance at this point. And Capriga might take solace from that, but Capriga, to be fair, with a little bit of damage of his own, which isn't going to be doing him too many favours either. Fierce Mars not really putting a foot wrong at the moment. These guys losing time today, who's a bit quicker than them at this point, but Fierce Mars not really leaving any openings for Capriga to pounce on at this stage. Tyner's still leading by nearly 11 seconds right now over G Sanks, so he is currently in cruise control. Kangi a further 9 seconds off of G Sanks, so really Tyner's G Sanks different league at the moment. Kangi running in 3rd has been matched for most of this race by Max Power, but since Max Power got into clean edge, Kangi's picked up the pace and it's pretty much been a match for Max Power since then. Max Power was actually not too far off of Tyner and G Sanks in qualifying, so maybe a bit of damage has cost him some performance, which has inhibited his ability to chase down the leaders at the rate that he would have wanted to, I'm sure. But we've got to remember he was down at the back at the end of the first lap, so anything, P4 is a fantastic result when you consider that. It's been a really strong drive from Max Power here, and I'm absolutely certain that he puts in a inquiry to the incident into turn 1, then that will probably be taken a dim view of. G Sanks has just put a lap there on one of the back markers, which would appear to be Leximate. But Tyner's still leading the race. He's coming over the line here to start what will be the penultimate lap for him. So it's going to be an 18 lap first race of the night. Oh, in the background there's a Bentley going very wide. That's Legacy Mate, the lap car, getting it very out of shape there. Capriglia closer and closer to the back of Fierce Mars here, coming down to the end of the back straight. Looking to the inside, but too far away just at the moment. Fierce Mars and Capriglia coming out onto the start finish straight. You can see the Fierce Mars is now right on the back of Day. So actually, has Day dropped it somewhere? Because Day was actually quite convincingly ahead of these guys before. So maybe Day's had a bit of a moment. You can see he's got some damage on the front bonnet. I don't know whether he already had that or whether he's just picked that up. It's probably from Bullard damage, I would imagine. But Fierce Mars now almost pushing Day along here, as they're pretty much at the start of what will be the penultimate lap for them, because the race leader Tynus is just about to start his final lap. So Day's now going to have to face heavy pressure here from Fierce Mars and Capriglia to try and hold on to 8th place here in this race. Fierce Mars looking to the inside there into turn 5, but just a little bit too far away at the moment. As Tynus is on the final lap of the race here. So lap 18 of 18 for this first race of the night. And he's not put a foot wrong. He's been pretty much faultless here. G-Sanks running in second place has kept the gap at around 11 seconds for the last few laps. So he hasn't really been falling massively off of Tynus in the last few laps. Maybe he's got to grips with this Barcelona circuit. This Circuit de Catalunya Barcelona, and maybe for a second race of the night he will be able to keep Tynus on his toes a little bit, because he's definitely been matching Tynus in the last part of this race. Fierce Mars still just ahead of Capriglia as they're coming through into the final section, and Day's lost it somewhere, so Day's binned it. He's now behind Fierce Mars and Capriglia as they battle it out over 8th place, and Day seems to be limping around as he got damage here on the car. It'd be silly to come into the pits at this stage because there's only one lap to go, but Day definitely struggling at this point, and he stays out on the track. But Snoopy will come around here to pick up P10 as there he goes. But in the meantime, Capriglia still within a second of Fierce Mars coming into turn 1. There's Tynus in the lead still. G-Sanks there running in second place, continuing to match Tynus. The gap's still 11.3 at this point. Kangi there running in 3rd place is managing to actually pull out a bit of a gap here to Max Power at this stage. Robe's been matching Max Power since getting ahead of Kevsim, so Robe's been improving as this race goes on. Could we see Robe in the hunt for a podium in this second race coming up shortly? But Tynus in house coming over the line, and he's taken the victory here for the first race of the night. Another dominant performance here from Tynus in the house, and that is his 6th win from 7 races so far this season. G-Sanks comes over to take 2nd place in the end, a little way clear of Kangi, who will come around the final corner here to complete the podium. As you can just see in the foreground, there is the lapped car of Leximate crossing over the line. But Kangi there, P3, Max Power coming over to take a P4, not too far behind Kangi in the end. Could have been a good battle if Max Power hadn't have had that incident at turn 1 with G-Sanks, but Robe spins it over the line there to take P5. Kevsim coming into the final corner. The Lazy Camel coming over to take 13th place here, lap down. You've got Kevsim over the line to take P6, and he's not too far ahead of Lol 3000, just coming through into the final corner now, and it's going to be 7th place here for Lol 3000 as he comes over the line. And he's a little way clear of Fierce Mars, who's coming through out of the final corner up towards the line. P8 for Fierce Mars, who just holds on ahead of Capriglia, and Snoopy will be the last driver to finish the race here in P10. And that is that for the first race of the night, guys. So Tynus, G-Sanks and Kangi, your podium finishers. And stay tuned, guys, we'll be back very shortly in about 10 minutes or so for the second qualifying session. So Don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon. Here we are then, guys, we're getting ready to go for the second race of the night here. We've got Tynus on pole with Max Power alongside him. Can Max Power get a good start this time? Can he avoid getting shunted in the rear into turn 1 this time? Here we are coming out up towards the line for the start of this second race of the night here. Race 8 of this season here for the GT3 Sprint League. As over the line we come, we're green, we're racing now. And Max Power has got a better start here than Tynus, but he banged doors it a bit there. Tynus now getting a bit of pick up here, coming down towards turn 1. Tynus looks like he's got the run and should hold on to the position there on the inside into turn 1. So Tynus in house still leading. Max Power just tucking in there for the time being. You got Kangi there behind them ahead of Robe. And Robe's coming under pressure here from G-Sanks. Is down the inside, there goes Kevsim up the inside of G-Sanks he goes. So Kevsim then mugging G-Sanks. G-Sanks now going for a cutback here up the inside as Robe very wide. Day attacking in the background here behind these guys as Robe keeps it around the outside. Kevsim holding it around the outside of G-Sanks as well. G-Sanks still there though, as Kevsim and G-Sanks side by side here coming down towards turn 5, but G-Sanks gets that move done and moves ahead of Kevsim as Day now looking around the outside of Kevsim as well, but Kevsim holding onto that one by the skin of his teeth there. As in the meantime, it's still Tynus leading ahead of Max Power, followed by Kangi, who got Robe behind him. Then you've got G-Sanks, there's Kevsim ahead of Dave, followed by Lol 3000, Snoopy ahead of Capriga, followed by the Lazy Camel, and then a big gap back to Leximate and Fierce Mars, who both started from the pits, and those two running in 12th and 13th places with a lot of work to do, and still a long way to go to be fair, so still chances in this race for those guys. But Max Power keeping Tynus on his toes right now out the front. As in the background here you can see Snoopy because of the inside there on Lol 3000 into turn 9, but just a little bit too far back at the moment and has to tuck in for the time being, but definitely putting him under a bit of pressure here in the early stages of this race. But Max Power within a second of Tynus, but Tynus is just looking a bit more comfortable here than Max Power is at this stage. Obviously Max Power ran away with the first race of the night. Oh, and Max Power's cut the chicane there as well, so he needs to be careful with that. He would have definitely got a track limits warning for that. He gained time as well, so if he does that twice more, then that will be a penalty and he'll have to come in for a drive through. So Max Power needs to rein that in and avoid doing that too often here in this race. G-Sanks very close to the back of Robe here. Robe defending to the inside there, weaving around a bit as they came down the straight, but Robe for the time being holding on to that position. You can see Lol 3000 within a second of Day right now, and that battle for 7th and 8th places. You've got Snoopy on the back of them, followed by Capriga, and a bit of a gap back to Lazy Camel, who's 2 seconds behind them, running in 11th place at the moment. But Max Power, to be fair, still keeping Tynus on his toes here. You can see that Tynus, I think, just seems a bit more confident, but Max Power at points is going quicker, and if keeping the gap under a second, you know, he's going to keep Tynus definitely looking in his rearview mirrors, and that's the most important thing here. We want Tynus under pressure, we want to see a race of it here, and Max Power seems to be pretty strong around this Barcelona circuit, Catalunya Barcelona circuit. They're saying that Tynus has just extended the gap to over a second there through the middle sector. G-Sanks still on the back of Robe, but Robe's managed to gap him a bit more than what it was, as Day here is coming under pressure from Lol 3000, and Lol 3000 gets tapped him in the side there, and through goes Snoopy up into 7th place. Lol 3000 loses out there as he gets ahead of Day though, so Day losing out a couple of places there. And where's he come out in all of this in the background? Who's that wide? Who's that running ever so wide? That was Lazy Camel. Or no, who was it actually? I think it was somebody else, because oh, God knows who it was, to be fair. But currently Snoopy there has made his way through ahead of Lol 3000 and Day, and he's now up into 7th place here in this race, so I'm sure he'll be pretty chuffed with that particular move. So he's now running in P6. It was Kangi who lost a load of places, so Kangi was running up high, and he's now down in 10th place, so he's dropped it somewhere on lap 2 and is now well off of everybody else. So Kangi there with an absolute nightmare. What a shame there. Lazy Camel in the comments says, well, I knew I was going to be slow, but fast drivers out there, well done all. Well, to be fair, mate, you know, it takes time getting used to the PS5 version of ACC, so you just got to learn your trade, and obviously these guys have been doing this for months and months and months, some of them even over a year, so, you know, don't knock yourself. You know, you're making that transition, and it's not easy. But Jazzman there saying Tynus in the comments. Obviously Tynus currently getting a decent gap here over Max Power. He's got the pace over him quite clearly, Max Power's not letting him absolutely piss off into the distance, but he is certainly he's certainly got the ascendancy right now. Has Tynus over Max Power. He's showing he's exerting his, or rather asserting his dominance, not exerting, asserting his dominance over Max Power at this stage. You've got Robe still ahead of G-Sanks in the battle for third place. A couple of seconds back to Kevsim there running in fifth. Snoopy there still just ahead of Low 3000. You can see Capriglia there on the back of them. There's Day and Kangi coming into turn 9 at the moment. They're a couple of seconds clear of the Lazy Camel, who's sat in 11th place still. Leximate there in 12th has got a few seconds back to Fierce Mars, who's rounding out the classification right now. But Tynus there coming out of the final corner here to complete lap 3 of the race, and the gap between Tynus and Max Power staying at a second and a half. So on average, Tynus about half a second a lap quicker than Max Power at the moment. Still a way to go as Robe here has got G-Sanks all over him, looking to the inside. G-Sanks goes for that small gap there on the inside into turn 1. Robe goes later on the brakes and cuts across him into the braking zone and manages to stay ahead by the skin of his teeth there. Good defensive driving there from Robe. He was brave of him to cut him off like that, but he managed to do so brilliantly. G-Sanks though looking to the inside through turn 3 they go. Robe very wide onto the marbles there on the outside, which is the last place you want to be through that section of the track. Now G-Sanks looking to the inside. Robe once again has got more confidence on the brakes, goes a little bit wide but gets it turned in and manages to keep the momentum round the corner there, and Robe still holding on for third place, but G-Sanks putting the pressure on him more and more, and whilst these two battle it could bring Kevsim into this battle for the podium places. Low 3000 still on the back of Snoopy in the battle for P6. Capriglia is bringing himself into this one as well. Kangi's got ahead of Day up into 9th place, so he's recovered one position here as Kangi, after his nightmare coming towards the end of lap 2. Here on lap 4 he's made up a place and can now try and chase after the guys up ahead of him here, as Robe still just ahead of G-Sanks right now in this battle for the final podium place, coming down to the end of the back straight here on lap 4. But Tynus continues to play out his gap here. 2.2 is currently the margin between himself and Max Power. G-Sanks still definitely keeping Robe on his toes right now as they're coming through the chicane. There's Low 3000 still on the back of Snoopy as they're coming through the chicane and into the final corner. You can see Capriglia getting closer to the back of Low 3000 as well here. Definitely keeping him very much looking in his rearview mirrors at this stage. There's Robe just ahead of G-Sanks into turn 1 once again. Looking at the battle here between Robe and G-Sanks, you can see just on a 0.2 of a second separating these two, so G-Sanks definitely not letting Robe off the hook. But Kevsim is definitely closing on these two whilst they battle, whilst they focus on each other. Whilst Robe is looking in his mirrors more than what he's looking at in front of him, it means that his pace isn't going to be as strong. He's going to be looking more about where he can position his car rather than where he can maximise his pace, and that's allowing G-Sanks to get closer, and it's allowing Kevsim to reel these guys in here. Low 3000 still right on the back of Snoopy here as they're coming out of turn 8. G-Sanks still can't make a move on Robe there for P3. There's this 4-car train battling over P6. Currently Snoopy, Low 3000, Capriglia and Kangi now joining in this little fight as well. And Kangi obviously with the mistake earlier on was running in 3rd place in the early stage of this race, but he's got a long way to go if he wants to get anywhere near there. And who's that? Is that Low 3000? It is Low 3000 who's dropped it there. So that's promoted Kangi up another place. Kangi up into 8th and Capriglia up into 7th place. What's going on here? Capriglia there all over the place coming into the chicane. But still ahead of Low 3000 just about. And Kangi now into 7th. Is he? No. Yeah, Kangi's into 7th. As Capriglia there out of shape out of the last corner. Low 3000 says thank you very much Capriglia. I will take P8. And there goes Low 3000 up into the position, but Day now closing up onto the back of these guys, and Capriglia and Low 3000 just having a bit of a nightmare there on that last lap. Really not getting it down at all. Tynus and Max Power still separated by, well, about half a second a lap it is between them. Currently 3 seconds on the track, but Tynus definitely showing max power that he's got that advantage over him at this stage. That's Lol 3000 a little bit wide there coming out of turn 5. Down towards 6 and 7 we go. There's Clegg, still keeping Lol 3000 very much under pressure at this stage. What can Kangi do here then with Snoopy? Snoopy didn't get a great run coming out of turn 8, but Kangi thinking a little bit too far back as we come down towards the end of the back straight, just a little bit too far away at this point. These guys are well off of Kessim and they're well clear of Lol 3000, so this is currently a battle in the middle of nowhere here between these two. But Kangi, as we've said, on the comeback trail once again, like he was in the first race, but putting on a show for us here on the stream, which is obviously great. And he's looking to try. Sorry, it's not the race, it's because I'm absolutely shattered and I'm exhausted, and I've had about 3 or 4 hours of sleep every night for about the last 5 nights. But Kangi here is pulling out the slipstream. Here we go, looking to the inside on Snoopy as we come down towards turn 1. And is this going to be job done? I think it is. Yeah, routine stuff there from Kangi. Snoopy tries to go for a cutback, almost taps him in the rear. Kangi goes a little bit wide there coming out of turn 2, but they have a tight line here through 3, which might give Snoopy another bite. But no, Snoopy hasn't really maximised his run there at all. So Kangi there gets that move done up into P6. Robe still just ahead of G-Sanks and about for 3rd place here, as these two continuing to go at it. Caprigia and Day have swapped positions, so Day is up into 9th. Caprigia must have dropped it because he's over a second behind Day after that. Didn't see what happened there, but Day now into 9th, Caprigia 10th. Currently Robe and G-Sanks still running in 3rd and 4th places right now. They're coming out onto the back straight, but G-Sanks still too far away. These two quite evenly matched at this point. Gap at the front between Tynus and Max Power currently just under 5 seconds. Tynus continuing to lap about half a second lap quicker. Tynus continuing to lap about half a second quicker than Max Power. So consistent pace here from our race leader, who's just coming over the line here to complete lap 8. Just keep an eye on the gap. I think it's more or less the same, is it? Yeah, 4.9, so yeah, it's about half a second a lap quicker, maybe a little bit more, maybe 0.6. It's G-Sanks here in the slipstream on Robe, getting closer. What is Robe doing? Where is he going? Oh my god! I think he's disconnecting. I'm going to take a wild guess that he's disconnecting. because his car absolutely took off there, and I reckon we're going to be seeing his name disappearing in a second. Yep, there it goes. Oh, what a shame. So Roby here out of the race. That was insane. That was unreal. But yeah. I mean, that means there's only 12 of us here now. Sorry, I'm so tired. Again, I'm not enjoying the race. I'm so tired right now. I'm literally exhausted, worn out, worried sick, and just I don't know. Fuck it. I don't know. But yeah, currently Leximate's still keeping Fierce Mars under a little bit of pressure right now. There's Sebastian there saying Gibraltar, Espanol. Are you telling me that I left the UK flag in the thumbnail? I have a feeling you might be trying to say it. No, you're not. I was wondering if the Gibraltar was a little dig at the fact that Gibraltar's meant to be in the UK. So I did put the correct flag on. No, I'm saying Gibraltar is Spanish. What logic are we using there? No way, I was enjoying that, says Robe. Yeah, it's gutting, mate. Real shame there, because you were doing a good job there, to be fair, defending from G-Sanks, and it was really the only battle going on, the only consistent battle that we'd had throughout the whole race. I mean, we've got a battle on the horizon here between Day and Caprigia, but Day's pulled out a bit of a gap to Caprigia on that last lap. It's now nearly a second. And you Brits know it. Says Seb. Also, no screen. Never mind, it was my YouTube. Yeah, definitely. That's well, we're streaming straight from the PlayStation, so any issues, it's on YouTube's end, not me. But yeah, Day currently over a second clear of Capriga, and it's getting late, and I'm so tired. And all I want to do is sleep at the moment. I'm so shattered. Oh. Tynus's gap to Tynus's gap to Tynus. What am I saying? Tynus's gap to max power currently over 6 seconds here, as we're about to complete lap 10. So on average, Tynus in the house going about 6/10 up quicker than max power. So he's definitely got pace over him. Great commentary. 10 out of 10. Cheers, mate. Appreciate it. Thank you. Much love. Muchas gracias. I just realised, I mean, you are actually Spanish, so technically I was just saying that in your native tongue. But yeah, 6/10 of a second currently is the, well, 6/10 a lap is the average time differential between Tynus and max power, but obviously 6 seconds on the track. G-Sanks running in third place, about 11 seconds behind max power. He's 17 seconds off of the race lead. Kessim 3 seconds behind G-Sanks. He's 20 seconds off of the race lead. Kangi P5, he's 25 seconds off of the race lead. And Snoopy, he's about 30 seconds off of the race lead. Lord 3000 is about 35 seconds off of the race lead. Day around 37 seconds off of the race lead. Capriga about 38 seconds off of the race lead. I'd say Fierce Mars is probably about 50 seconds off of the race lead. Leximate 52 seconds off of the race lead. And Lazy Camel, I'd say it's about a minute and 10 seconds ish off of the race lead at this point. But currently it's Tynus continues to pull out his gap here at the front. Please, says what? Please what? Please like and subscribe. Go on guys, please. Yeah, go on, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Please, go on. Seb said it, and I'm echoing his sentiments there. If you haven't already, please do like the video and subscribe. And if you want to join Motive Racing, then be sure to go to www.motiveracing.com as well. Plenty to get involved with. here on ACC. Obviously Wednesday we've got the PS5 GT3 Sprint League, and the Sunday the GT3 Championship as well. We run F1 on Friday and Project Cars 2 on Tuesday and Thursday. What's not to love? What's not to love? See here, Caprigi has managed to close up onto the back of Day a little bit here. It's only about I'd say it's maybe just under a second now, the gap between these two. It was just over. I know, it's still just over, so that currently hasn't changed. I thought for a moment it might have done, but it appears that nothing has changed at all. It would make for good marketing, says Seb. Oh, I'm so tired. Tyler's coming over the line here to complete lap 12 of the race. What's his gap to max power? Is it around the same, or is it gone up more? Currently 7.7 seconds, so Tyler's continuing to extend his gap by around 0.6 of a second a lap. But fascinating second race here for obviously this is round 4 of the season for the GT3 Sprint League here on ACC, and race 8 of a 16 race season altogether with 2 races per round, and Tyson House looking set to take his 7th win from 8 races. What a performance so far this season. I mean, it's just insane, isn't it, really? You know, it's almost unprecedented. Oh, we can see Kevin look up at the inside of G-Sanks. G-Sanks gives him the space on the inside. Kessim has made a move for third place. Where did that come from? Has G-Sanks got damage, or has Kessim just done that one on merit? Oh, as G-Sanks cuts the inside of the chicane there, going through into the final corner. So that's going to lose him a bit more time here, but Kessim has made the move up into third place. Excellently done there from him. So it made his opportunity there, saw the inside open up and went for the gap, and Kessim there into the podium places. Fantastic stuff there. G-Sanks hasn't given up on this one now, has he? Look at this, he's still keeping on the back of him here. 0.3 of a second currently separating them as they're coming through in towards turn 5 here for the 15th time in this race. But Kevsim does appear to be putting away a little bit here coming through this section. Kangi's now appearing in the background, so can Kangi put G-Sanks under a little bit of pressure here in the final closing laps of this race and maybe manage to nab 4th place? So let's see, I guess. Tynus here coming through the final corner, and he's about to start what I assume will be the 3rd to last lap of the race, so should be a repeat of what we had in the first race. Should be, I think, an 18 lap race altogether, barring any simply monumental incidents from Tynus. His gap over Max Power currently just over 11 seconds, so on average, the average has gone up, I think, a little bit. Or maybe it's about the same, I'm not sure. I think it's about 7/10 of a lap now, so Tynus has maybe stepped it up, or maybe Max Power's just dropped the ball a little bit. As G-Sanks has got a bit of a run here on Kangi. Kangi's actually got ahead of G-Sanks, but G-Sanks is trying to come back in the mirror into turn 1. Lex is here looking to the inside of the Bentley. Bentley gets the move done around the outside though, and Kangi's up into 4th place. So he'll be pretty chuffed with that, I'm sure. G-Sanks though is trying to come back in him here as they come through. Capriga's on the back of Day here coming into turn 1 once again. Sorry, I mean Capriga's ahead of Day, sorry, he's got ahead of him. So Day must have let him past, because Capriga was already ahead of him before he got to turn 1, but it says on the timing screen that Capriga or rather Day was ahead of him, so yeah, Capriga unmistakably there ahead of Day now into 8th place in this race. G-Sanks is on the back of Kangi here, coming down towards the end of the back straight. You can see Kangi getting a little bit, sorry, G-Sanks getting a little bit close to the back of Kangi. Oh, he's wide there as G-Sanks all over the marbles there. That's going to lose him more time, and Kangi will be able to pull away. Has Kangi got the pace to chase down Kevsim here? Only a second and a half now separating Kevsim and Kangi. So are we going to be seeing Kangi maybe just staging a last-ditch rally here to get himself into 3rd place? This could be an interesting one. This could be very interesting indeed. So come over the line here to start their 17th laps of the race. Oh, it's Days in the pits. Oh, he hasn't run out of fuel again, has he? Oh no, he's done the same thing again. He's done it again. Oh, he is going to be absolutely fuming about that. That is the second time in the space of one night. I didn't realise at the time when we were watching the closing stages of the first race, we saw Day slowing down coming through the final corner. He'd actually run out of fuel. I thought he had damage, but he'd run out of fuel, and he's done the same thing again here in this second race. There's Tynus here, coming into turn 1 for the 18th time. And he's currently 14 seconds clear of max power, so what a job it has been from Tynus here tonight. He's going to take another double win. Last week at Alton being the only blot on his copybook where he came very, very close actually to taking a win in the first race, but managed to come second to G Sanks because essentially he started in about P12 I think, and around a track like Alton Park, when you start in P12 you haven't got, you know, you're doing quite well if you finish in P11. So Tynus to finish in P2 in that race was nothing short of a miracle. As Kangi's not really closing on Kevsim that much, to be fair. The gap's 1.4, so he's not really gained that much. It was 1.5 a couple of laps ago, so over the course of 2 laps he's gained about a tenth of a second, so I don't think that's going to really find him any I don't think that's going to butter him any crumpets by the time we get to the final bit of this race. But here comes Tynus in the house through into the final few quarters here at Barcelona for the second race of the night here at Motive. What a race, what a job. Congratulations to Tynus in the house. He's going to take his 7th win in the space of 8 races here as he comes through the final chicane and into the final corner here. Tynus in the house, the number 13 Bentley, the star of the show, the man of the moment. He's taken, currently, so far this season, he's taken 9 wins out of 10 races, including the Sunday GT3 Championship as well. What a season he is having. Another victory here for him, but Max Power takes 2nd place here. And it's a BMW 1-2-3 here with Tynus, Max Power and Kevsim. Or is Kangi going to nab Kevsim here on his final lap? We're coming through the chicane. Can Kangi get a good run here coming out the final corner? I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Kevsim will hang on here for 3rd place, just about, as they come over the line there. So Kevsim 3rd, Kangi over in 4th. G Sanks is coming through the final corner, and he will be in P5 in this one. With Snoopy to take 6th. The Lazy Camel's already finished the race lap down there in 11th place. Lowell 3000 here coming into the final corner, and he's going to take 7th place here tonight for this second race of the night. Obviously race 8 of the season. There he is. Caprigio comes over to take 8th. And Leximate is going to go around to take 9th at the moment. There's Days in the pits. And Leximate here coming out the final corner, P9 for him. Mia Smiles comes over to take P10. And I want to apologise for the excessive yawning here tonight. I'm really tired. I should currently be in the process of a 48-hour long nap, but you know, your boy's got to be up at 4:30 every morning practically, and for some reason I can't nap in the afternoon anymore. I just lie there and my brain just can't switch off. It's like I've got this electromagnetic pulse inside my head and it will not switch off. So at the moment I'm just kind of like being tortured by not being able to sleep but being absolutely exhausted at the same time. It's like living in a nightmare. It's like an actual living nightmare. But anyway, thanks everybody for joining us here tonight, and yeah, we'll see you soon. Make sure you join us for the next one, wherever it might be. And yeah, cheers, thanks.